Okay. This is the What's Next podcast, Houston's #1 platform where I invite creatives to share their journeys and give us a depiction of their visions. Most importantly, the last question I'll ask is, what's next? Totally different setup. Totally different setup from last time. 80 episodes later, shout out to my girl T Melly, aka Takara Taylor. Man, y'all make sure y'all go stream Taste of New Orleans. SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and my website. Let's go!
Yo, it feel like 95. Sachi on my body.
My wife told me I need to chill on the air horns, so let me lower it a little bit. Houston, Texas. Welcome back to the 92nd edition of the What's Next podcast, a production of Still Visionary Inc. Before we get started with the episode, I want to introduce our social media handles so that we don't disrupt the flow of the conversation when we get to that point.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm at Celebrity Chef Nureka's Bowls on Instagram. Also on Instagram at Egg Rolls Rolling, my new concept.
Okay. And my name is John Ross Dike I, and you can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at John Ross Dike and still_visionary. If you would, connect with me on LinkedIn, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my fan page on Facebook, and visit my website at stillvisionary.com. Directly in front of you, I have all the T-shirts I sell on this podcast on my website and out the trunk of my car. I'm sitting next to a hustler, so I got to get all my shenanigans out because when she get to talking, all right, I don't want to disturb her. But you can shop at stillvisionary.com/merch.
Okay.
Here we are, 80 episodes later. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. It was just continuing on in this month. This is the month of Thanksgiving, so I wanted to talk about family and food this month. Mm-hmm. And when you hit me, I was like, it's time. Let me just get everything in order, get everything right for a boss, and make sure that we're lined up so that, there are no hiccups. But I'm here, grinding.
I'm glad to see you. I told you I would have something good for you soon.
Oh, yeah. Houston, Texas, like I said before, Chef Nureka, got me out the doghouse last year. And would you believe that I'm always find my way back in there? But I'm not in the doghouse right now. But I'm always find my way back in there. But I had to come and holler at my homegirl again, show how much I appreciate her. And on the podcast, I wanted to purchase your book on the podcast.
Oh,
I want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead while you're talking, you telling us how you're doing.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and send that Cash App because I know you don't move without that Cash App.
Awesome. Yeah, you know the Cash App moves me.
So how you doing?
I'm good. I am actually good. I'm blessed and happy to be here.
Yeah.
I just got out of the hospital a few days ago.
Why? What happened?
Actually, I had a mini stroke.
Ooh.
And I was hospitalized for 2 days.
Okay.
But I'm still functioning. I'm still normal. I just have to change my diet.
Okay.
So which means I'll be catering to a new clientele.
Okay.
I'm going to specialize in the heart healthy diet because that's what I have to consume for a while now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you don't look like you had a stroke, but God is good.
Thank you.
God is good. I'm glad that it did. Typically when you hear people have strokes, it's always, sometimes they lose one functionality of half of their body. So I'm glad that that's not the result that happened with you.
Yes.
Okay.
It was just a little wake-up call. It was a tap on the shoulder, get some stuff in order.
Yeah. If you could define yourself with one word, what would that word be?
Being humble?
Humble.
Okay. Wow, that's hard. One word.
Yeah. Take your time and think about it.
Wow.
It's essential.
One word. Gumbeaux.
And I know exactly what that means.
What does it mean?
A mixture of everything. And if you're speaking about your hustle, your hustle composes. As of what I remember from last year, the story you told last year. And by the way, I know I sound crispy because I listened to the podcast this morning, episode 12. And so, listen, I don't like to
cheated.
go. No, I didn't cheat, but it's about being prepared, right? But on the episode last year, I heard like I said before, the story of a survivor, a hustler, and that all mixed together composes of who you are. So when you say gumbo, I definitely understand why you say
Exactly.
gumbo.
I say gumbo because number one, I specialize in gumbo. No one can
Right.
top me in making gumbo. And then if you think about the definition of gumbo, it would be the best one word I could come up with to describe me, because there are so many different pieces of me, so many facets of me, so many aspects of me, and I wear so many hats. So
Right.
I think that was the perfect word for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Last time in the podcast, you were getting ready to start you said at the end of the podcast that you were getting ready to start your store, a new store.
And I am actively working on opening Nureka's Gumbo and Grits, a concept in Atlanta right now.
Ooh, Atlanta. Why Atlanta? It makes sense,
Right
though.
opportunity. Right opportunity. I'm working with a partner.
Okay.
And it's just kind of like the right opportunity, the right time.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't want to just be local.
Right. Right.
My thing is bringing a taste of New Orleans around the world.
Right.
I
right.
recently started with some egg rolls. I have a new concept because egg rolls are trending, and I went on a little tour from Atlanta to New Orleans to Baton Rouge, Lake Charles, Beaumont, frying egg rolls.
Right. Right.
And I'm lining up my next trip as we speak. I have Homa coming up December the 2nd, and I'm going to be going back to Atlanta really soon. I already have orders in Atlanta already.
Right. It doesn't surprise me because, hustlers, I was listening to this podcast yesterday, and a person on the podcast said that hustlers going to find a way.
Period.
Right. And so it doesn't surprise me. And it's really the reason why I just had to come and sit with you again, because, that type of energy that you exude is contagious. And I'd hope that I could learn something from you. So listen, let's get into it. Creativity comes from, before that, what do you think that people should take from our conversation today?
I think that people should take away that no matter what you're going through in life, no matter what life brings, there's always a way to make lemonade out of the lemons that you get in life. Because a lot of the things that I'm currently doing, I came up with in the midst of a pandemic. So rather than shut down, in a sense, I got more creative.
Right.
And thinking of ways that I could survive financially because of the changes in the world.
Right.
So my takeaway, what I would like people to take away is the importance of being ambitious and determined and tapping into tenacity.
Right.
Yeah.
The pandemic was life-changing for me, too, in a couple of ways, because here I am. My podcast is predicated on going to people's establishments, their houses, their homes, wherever they create, talking to them, getting their feel, getting into their zone. And when they said that we're going to have to quarantine, I said to myself, ooh, I don't know how it's going to work. And then, you go out, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know where you've been. You don't know where I've been. But to bring something back to the house when, one could look at this as a hobby, almost got to me. I was like, man, what am I going to do? And so I went out and I got, the new board. I was supposed to put that when you said what you said about surviving and making lemonade out of the lemons that you're given. But I said, let me just take the podcast over the phone. Now, I saw a decrease in numbers, but it kept me safe throughout the time period so that way I could see today.
Yeah, I mean, you have to do what you have to do to make it through.
Right.
I even started contactless delivery,
Right.
to where, of course, I'm Cash App, big on Cash App, where I would get that Cash App, and then I would set up the delivery, and then I would leave that food right there on the porch, and, they would get it and things of that nature. So you find a way to make it work.
Right.
I mean, what other choice you have?
Right. Creativity comes from experiences. You're talking about these egg rolls. Bring me through that. How last time you were specializing in couples, and I want to say specializing, but that was your forte, rescuing people like myself who had messed up in their relationships. And now you're doing that, and then you expand to Atlanta. Where does that idea come from?
The idea came from my original goal, which is to be known worldwide.
Right.
So you got to travel. You have to let people know what you're doing, and the Atlanta concept of the restaurant there just came from a person that I know that knows the business that I do and is familiar with my brand that wanted to partner with me.
Right.
So actually, when I was in Atlanta doing my egg rolls, we went to look at some buildings, and so we're still in the initial stages, but it's definitely something that we're working on.
Okay. And then Atlanta's population, you know, Atlanta, they seem not to adhere to rules. Like they do their own thing, live their own way, and I think it was their mayor or somebody had come out and told them, "Listen, y'all got to lock up. How are you gonna conquer the aspect of the COVID and everything, and make sure that you're still profiting from that drive?" Now it's about what, 12 hours on the road or 2-hour flight.
I think it's a maybe 10, 11-hour drive, but because I did a tour, I didn't go directly there.
Okay.
So I had many cities I stopped in before.
Right.
So essentially, I ended up doing the drive from New Orleans to Atlanta.
Okay, which is short, halfway.
6 hours.
6 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you're still cooking.
Yes.
Okay. And you've changed it up to a healthier diet.
Yeah, I have to do that. I've always had clients that requested healthier things,
Right.
but now since I'm personally affected,
Right.
I need to become kind of like specialize in that because I need good food when I'm not dining out.
Right.
So I need to get it to where I can consume it and it's safe for me to consume it.
Right. I think that the biggest issue that I've had with dieting is the food going to be fulfilling? Is it going to be, you know, something that's not like I could? That's one thing. I mean, dieting. When my wife and we lost our kid, we decided to drop meat for a while, and it was heavy. It had me emotionally spent. Like I spent so much time. Listen, I love me a good chicken wing.
Yeah.
And I spent so much time like man, I don't know if I can make it. If I can make it one more day, and it was taking a toll on me, but it was taking a toll on my wife too. And I realized, you know, when I got to the point where I was good, we 14 days in, and I was like, man, I can't do it no more. I'm just gonna crack. And then I went back to eating fried foods and, you know, burgers and stuff like that. And my wife was like, you need to get your cholesterol checked. And so I know it's not a fad, it's a way of life, but, you know, how do you make the food taste good?
Well, the good thing for me is I've always eaten healthy. I love salmon and seafood and things like that. My challenge now will be not using salt-based products for my food and using more lemon, garlic, things like that. So I'll figure it out.
Right.
I'll figure it out. It's just adjustments, and it costs more.
Right.
It costs more. Like I had to go yesterday and buy some avocado oil. To get some grapeseed oil because I can't have the butter and the margarine.
Right.
So yeah, but like I said, there is a market for it because there are a lot of people that for various health reasons should be eating healthy.
Right. You leveled up. You said you talked about a TV show, and it listen, nothing that you do is a surprise to me. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I got so many things that I want to do in store. Like I just finished my real estate license. I got to take my test.
Congrats.
Thank you. Here we go.
Congrats.
But,
I'm loving this new boy.
Thank you. You know, listen, I had to level up because like I said on episode 63 of my podcast, I was tired of marking my spots. I just wanted to be able to just play it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to be able to just play it. And
awesome.
And in addition to that, my homegirl, you know, playing her record and stuff like I just wanted to be able to just play things at will.
Yeah.
And so this was gonna help me during the pandemic when it was at its peak. I was able to just stay at the crib and just still vibe. But going back to what I was saying, nothing that you do surprises me, right? So a TV show. Talk to me about that. Where does that come from? Where does that idea come from?
First of all, I love the fact that you're speaking the TV show into existence.
Okay.
Because I'm just on the YouTube platform right now.
Which is where everything is moved,
Yeah.
but it's all good.
Yeah. So cocktails, cooking, and chatting with Celebrity Chef Nureka.
Okay.
Ironically, every Tuesday.
Okay.
I also have something uploaded. What I do is I interview celebrities
Okay.
and who's in different cities.
Right.
During that interview, they get to experience eating their favorite meal prepared by me.
Mm.
Yeah. So, and we talk about what's relevant with them, what's current with them, what's going on with them. And we talk about current events and
Right.
things of that nature.
Right.
So it's another way to spread the taste of New Orleans
Right.
to relevant people that become clients.
Right.
Clients and friends, and I establish connections with people that I need to do so with.
Right.
Yeah.
Where did the idea come from?
Getting creative during COVID.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to make a show. I'm going to make my own show.
Right.
And everything kind of fell into place. Actually, I was doing a favor for a friend. I let her use my home to do an interview she needed to do.
Right.
And she brought in her crew, her camera people, and things like that. We got to talking. I was talking to her husband while she was interviewing, and he helped me line up some of the people that I actually interviewed. And then I ended up clicking with the camera people and came up with an awesome arrangement with them. And it's like everything just fell into place. It was meant to happen.
Right.
Everything fell into place.
Right.
I ran into a hiccup when I did some offset recording in New Orleans because I didn't have my team. But we're working through that, to get those videos uploaded, those interviews uploaded, and just moving forward.
Yeah.
I have a lot of interesting people that I'm going to be interviewing, and we have a good lineup. And
Right.
as the day goes on, we get people in the inbox. They want to be interviewed. People
Yeah.
I'm reaching out to.
Yeah.
So it's working out. It's working out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. It's good to be sitting next to you again. It's been it's
agree.
been over a year.
Yeah, it's been a long time
Been
coming.
over a year, and I gotta get you over to the crib to surprise my wife.
Yes.
with
We got to
another
get something
meal.
on the book.
Yeah, something. And she's actually trying to eat healthier as well.
See?
So that would be a great look.
Perfect.
You know what I'm saying?
Perfect.
So last episode, we spoke about your journeys from New Orleans to Houston, right? Have you been back since?
Of course.
Okay.
I was there maybe 2 weeks ago.
Right.
I was supposed to be there this past week. My mom just had surgery for breast cancer.
Right.
But unfortunately, I was in the hospital on that
Right.
day, so I couldn't go. So I'll be going back on December the 6th. Well, I'm thinking it's December the 13th. My little sister is opening her event hall.
Okay.
So she's reopening it. So I'll be back to support that, and I'm also going to do a book signing for New Orleans for the cookbook on that day as well.
Right. So, any plans? I know you're from New Orleans, Lower Ninth Ward,
Yeah.
Claiborne, and
Wow, you really did listen.
listen,
Yes, Claiborne and Desire.
Claiborne and Desire. I know you're from
really
New
did
Orleans. Are you? Is that home,
Yes.
or are you? Has Houston become home now?
Home will always be home.
Right.
But when I visit New Orleans, I'm always looking forward to coming home, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my best way I can say it.
Yeah.
New Orleans holds a piece of my heart,
Always.
But then they say it's not where you're from, it's where you're at. So, I mean, it's all perception and how you look at it, So.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say this. The cookbook.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I cashed up you that
Awesome. So
that
I can
money.
add you to my list
No
for
doubt.
pre-sales. Hopefully you're going to come to the party
When's the party?
November the 25th.
Okay. We're all
This
from
is
school
the
that day.
cover.
Okay.
I haven't
go.
shown this on social media to anybody,
Okay.
but this is my cover. This is me, of course, in the middle.
Okay.
My baby picture.
You look the same.
This is my first painting that someone did of me as a chef.
Right.
My cartoon chef picture.
Right.
One of my Houston Chronicle pictures.
Right.
One of my company cards I had. This is a big event I did. Oldest daughter, youngest daughter. The Gumbeaux I've won awards for. My second restaurant. No, that was the third restaurant. That's also the inside of the third restaurant.
Right.
This is me. I was a queen at 5 years old at the nursery with my sister.
Right.
My dad, my little sister, and me at a brunch I hosted in New Orleans. That's me.
Right.
And this is my cousin and I. My cousin has been always like one of my best friends and my personal assistant.
Right.
So I had to include her. This was at the grand opening of restaurant number 2, that picture.
Okay.
So this cookbook is dedicated to my mom, so it has a lot to do with why I started with my baby picture.
Right.
And also, as you see, it's a COVID-19 survival cookbook.
Mm.
So it has simple things in it and more complex things in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the simple thing would be what?
The most simple thing is a simple brunch.
Okay.
That's featured in there, and I'm
Okay.
not gonna tell you.
Okay. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
gotta buy the book. See, I'm not gonna tell you
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very excited. I'm gonna do another cookbook that will come out next Thanksgiving.
Okay.
But it will have pictures in it, and it will be bigger. This is just something for COVID.
Right.
And 45 innovative and creative recipes.
Okay.
And I chose 45 because I turned 45 this year.
Okay.
So has a lot of meaning behind the cover and everything in the cover.
Looks good.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So you the whole thing for the month of November for me was family and family and food, right? Which you fell right along the path of that,
Yeah.
right? You celebrating Thanksgiving in New Orleans, I take it.
No, I will be here cooking for clients.
Okay. So when you get down to do your own Thanksgiving for your family, what does that look like for you?
Well, I try to have Thanksgiving every day,
Right.
365.
Right.
There's always something to be thankful for, right?
Right.
So typically on the Thanksgiving holiday that the world observes, for me and my family, it kind of looks like them coming in here asking, "Ma, what's for us? What's not for a client? What can we have?"
Right.
That type of thing. Of course, I always cook extra food because the girls do come through. But typically, I'm working throughout the holiday. I'm working. I have clients who want their food the day before, and then I have some clients who actually pay to have the convenience of having it the day of. So I'm working.
Right.
It's a work day for me.
Do you ever grow tired and maybe say to yourself, listen, I cook all this food for everybody else. When do I take a break to be able to just soak in my successes?
Sometimes I feel that way, but it's not often because I make time to enjoy life, like on a regular basis, even if it's just for a couple of hours out of the day. And I actually enjoy what I do.
Right.
I enjoy knowing that all of those people are at that table eating my food and loving it.
Right.
You know, I actually enjoy that. And then cooking is actually not work for me.
Right.
You know, it's kind of therapeutic in a sense. You're blessed when you can find a way to make money and make a living off of what you enjoy doing, and that's what I've mastered. Yeah.
What song's on your mind? Because you were jamming, like I said, you were jamming. Y'all might not see the portion that I talked about her jamming because I'm gonna use that as a B-roll clip. But when I got here, she was jamming.
How about This Girl Is on Fire, Alicia Keys?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be a song I would think about right now.
I like The Truth.
Yeah.
India Arie.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
The Truth.
That's a whole vibe.
Right.
Like that's a whole vibe.
Right,
It's,
right.
You know.
When you played that, I said, okay, I gotta play this.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
beginning.
yeah.
I like The Truth, and I like Nas Spicy off his King's Disease album.
I don't think I've heard that one. You
Yeah.
always introduce me to the music every time we link up. You know
Listen.
that? Last time you was telling me about some music
Listen,
that I didn't know about.
listen, I wanted to play some bounce music, but I couldn't find any.
You know I love bounce now. Look.
Now, you know
Juvenile,
what?
I get a corporate girl up from New
Yeah,
Orleans.
he had a record lately earlier. I can't think of it, but I was happy to see him because I hadn't seen him in a while.
Okay.
He looked he looked decent. He had tattoos on his face like Baby and Wayne got. He looked like, listen, I'm not I ain't going to the wild side. He looked decent.
Okay.
He looked decent. You disappeared last year. When did you get sick? When were you you were in the hospital last night or
No, that was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
last week?
Yeah.
But last year you disappeared because I remember you were on this rage, and when I say this rage, you were, man, I couldn't get on Instagram and not see you. You were grinding, and then I'm like, man, she's doing this, she's doing that, she's got this brunch, and I even said to my wife, hey, let's go check out one of her brunches, and then you disappear. What happened?
Actually, one of my daughters, daughter number 4, was a victim of human sex trafficking, and I had to deal with that.
Right.
I had to do what a mama does and try to save her. So within a year, we dealt with 14 different psychiatric hospitals, both here in Houston and San Antonio.
Right.
And we went through the whole experience of having her survive that.
Right.
Because I don't want to use the word victim.
It takes a toll.
Yeah, so I kind of dropped off the scene to deal with that.
Yeah, you got to. You had to. Yeah. And so she's good now.
She is. She's
Better.
actually babysitting Fancy right now.
Okay.
So that I could have bed rest and have some time alone.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, listen, it wasn't no day that I couldn't get on Instagram and didn't see your face. Yeah. And living life, grinding, living life, celebrating, being happy. And then I look and I'm scrolling my timeline. I'm like 2 pictures, 3 pictures, 4 pictures a week. I'm like, where Nureka at? Especially after that time we connected and I gave you a shirt or whatever it was that we exchanged at that time. And then you disappeared, and I was like, man, where did Nureka go? But a lot of people I found, especially during the pandemic as well, kind of took time away to get themselves back in order. Yeah. How was that with you?
Well, the pandemic, actually, I was a little scared at first, but I jumped into creative mode. I knew that I was going to, for a long time, years ago, I started writing books that I've never completed. I have, both my sisters are book authors. My closest friends have written books. Right. So it wasn't something that was foreign to me. It was just kind of something I had on the back burner.
Right.
So having extra time with the pandemic going on and some other things happening in my personal life, I started writing my first novel, which is coming out December the 25th, by the way.
Okay. So I gotta read it.
Yeah.
And then bring you back on sometime in 2021.
Yes. That book is going to be amazing. You want to know the title?
Yes, I do.
You sure you want to know?
I do.
The Tangled Entanglement.
The Tangled Entanglement.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the title of that book.
Okay.
And that book is going to be amazing.
Right.
So while I'm writing that book, I'm thinking, I need to do a cookbook and have it ready for Thanksgiving.
Right.
So I remember telling my friend, I said, I'm going to do a cookbook too. And she was like, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Right. And then there was days when I was thinking like, girl, what made you think you can write 2 books in 1 year and keep your sanity? But I pushed through. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I like that about you. You're never still.
Yeah.
And, you find that when you get still, it's almost like, for a creative, it's almost like, yo, listen, I want to do this and I want to do this because you don't know what's going to take off.
Yeah.
And, when you, and some people look at it like, yo, you know what, just stick to this and try to make it work. Right. But in that, I've always heard the term, different sources of income. And I admire the fact. You gotta have
multiple bags.
Yeah. I admire the fact that for you have your main thing, which is the cooking thing, and you ventured off and it's like this big spider web. Of things that are going to bring you in money, which a hustler normally does, and that is continue to survive, continue to thrive, and continue to make a way for themselves.
It's all the Nureka's brand. I also am being very successful with Nureka's janitorial and disaster cleanup.
Right.
We actually offer cleaning for COVID, sanitation and disinfecting and things like that. So yeah, we have that going. But you gotta you gotta survive.
Right.
You got to survive. And I always say you got to do what works for you, because some people tend to think that you only should focus on one thing. They feel like when you try to focus on too many things, there's this thing they say, something about jack of all trades, master of none, things like that. Yeah. So if that thinking works for you, then go with that.
Right.
There's other people that think other ways, and there's people that are successful at doing multiple things. So I tend to lean along that path, with that thought.
And I think also sometimes you have to kind of trial and error. Put it out there, see if it works. Because a lot of times people spend a lot of like all their energy trying to make this one thing work. Like if this one thing is going to be the it all. And if it's not, then, they're just like, they just disappear.
But then there are people that say don't put all your eggs in one basket. So
Right.
at the end of the day, you have to do what works for you.
Yeah.
And for me, if one company isn't thriving, another one is.
Right.
It's going to always be something. It's going to always be a season for something.
Right.
Like now, it's the season for people to order for Christmas and Thanksgiving. They
Right.
want their meals done. So this is a good season for my chef business, my chef services that I provide.
Right.
Even some people that are not typically clean and neat people want their homes clean for company. So,
Facts.
it just depends on the season and the right time and just being in the right place at the right time and taking advantage of opportunities and knowing how to do so. And you got to know who your target market is.
Right.
That's important.
Who's
That's
your
very
target market?
important. It's different.
Does it? Okay.
For
I was going
each
to say,
season,
does it change?
each
Okay.
business, it just depends.
Right.
And I try to have something for everybody,
Right.
which some people, advise against
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But I do agree that not all money is good money because a lot of times when people can't afford what you're offering, it never works out.
Right.
You can't make them happy. I always say because they're spending money they can't afford to be spending. I'm serious.
Yeah. You're right.
And so
you're
sometimes
right.
you have to walk away from some things, even if you need the money, because it's not worth the headache. So when you know who your market is and you cater to them, you tend to do well.
Yeah.
You please people that appreciate what you do, respect you for what you do,
Right.
and see the value in it.
Right.
Because some people just don't see value in service.
Right.
And service is all a total different animal all by itself. I do a lot of times hashtag boss life. It's a lifestyle, and that's just not a hashtag. It's true. When you can afford and appreciate service, it is a lifestyle. And it's not something that everybody can do.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Wow. This cookbook, man. Am I gonna be able to wow my wife on my own with it?
You will.
Okay.
You will. And I'm a phone call away for you.
Okay.
So if you run into some problems, you could call me and say, Nureka, what can I do with this? Your wife likes brunch, so the brunch section,
She does.
you'll find something she'll like.
She's a big breakfast person.
Yeah.
I hate breakfast. I don't hate breakfast. I'm always getting up late. That's why I said to myself this morning when I got up, I said, listen, if I don't pack, I was supposed to pack I was early here, but I was late to church.
Oh, wow.
Right. So
Shame on you.
I said to myself, if I don't pack this stuff now, I'm going to be hitting Nureka and be like, listen, give me about an hour and a half.
I'm running late.
I'm running late.
Wow.
And so I said, you know what? We don't start, the record button don't go off at church until 9:30. I can wake up at 7, make these T-shirts for Nureka, put everything together, and then I can get on the way to church and then be there. So when I got out, I said, ooh, I'm going to have some time. I look up at my clock, 1 o'clock. I said, no, I ain't going to have no time. I'm going straight to the hood.
Oh, wow.
I'm going straight to, I'm going straight to this. But I was like, hold on. I pull up and I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. My auntie live right down the street. Right. So, home, man. You know what I'm saying? It feels good to be in your presence. It feels good to be around a boss.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Today is November the 15th, 2020. And we have 46 days left in the 2020 year. What do you hope to attain in 46 days?
In 46 days, I hope to manifest the title of best-selling book author for the cookbook and for the fiction novel that's coming out.
Right.
And I also hope to have solidified my space for my new restaurant.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I was listening to the episode and I was thinking to myself, I want to ask about Lindsay. How's Lindsay?
Are you speaking of my first patient?
Yeah.
Oh, you remember Lindsay. I actually bumped into Lindsay while going through the episode with my daughter. I bumped into Lindsay at the Houston Area Women's Center.
Yeah.
And she was so happy to see me.
Yeah.
And she appears to be doing fine.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I thought about that and I was like, listen, I want to ask about Lindsay and your aunt. How's your aunt doing? Is she good?
Which aunt?
The one that was at the episode last time.
Oh, my Aunt Sandra, of course. That is my girl. You know that. I saw her a couple of weeks ago. And I was doing my egg rolls, and she was like, I don't want any egg rolls because, you know, I eat healthy. But here, I'm going to sell you a sponsorship for the cookbook. So I was like, yay. Yeah, that's my girl. You know, of course, she's fussing because of the little health scare I had last week. But, yeah, that's my girl. She's doing good.
Yeah, I knew the way you talked about it in the episode, I knew that she, you know, if that happened to you, she'd be like, listen, you got to slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
Got to slow down a little bit. Yeah. Listen, Chef Nureka, it's 80 episodes later. Okay. And most importantly, what's next for you? The last question I'll ask is, what's next for you?
Just getting these books out.
Right.
Getting this restaurant. And who knows what I'm going to come up with next.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised.
Yeah. I think that, you know, this is what this platform was created for, was for the tracking of the creatives that come on here. Because, you know, creation starts off one way, then it evolves to something else, and then it evolves to something else, and you really don't.
Oh, and what's really, I forgot to say,
Go ahead.
I'm looking at my show Going Big Places.
Good.
Yeah, Cocktails, Conversations. I get it wrong sometimes. It's Cocktails, Cooking, and Chatting with Celebrity Chef Nureka.
Well, I can't wait. You said it's on YouTube, right?
YouTube, yes. You need to go look.
Expect my subscription as soon as we get off the show.
Yes.
But like I was saying that creation goes so many places, and I have an affinity for it. I like to hear what the creative says, and then see what they're doing down the line. And then when it changes, it's not a surprise to me, because sometimes, like for me, I said to myself with the podcast, I was like, man, you know what? Maybe I should do this. And although my vision was one way before, eventually it transformed into something else. And next year, when you come on next, who knows, in 2021, it might be something else.
Yeah, I agree, because even with my show, initially it was going to be just me cooking. Actually, it was going to be me cooking in the kitchen with them and things like that. But it hasn't went that way. Like, I prepare the food. When they come here, their food is pretty much ready. Right. And then, because I wanted to make them feel relevant too, and make them feel important. Also, get to know them as well. Right. So I kind of, it's an exchange of information. Right. Yeah.
Right. So what I like to do on a podcast this year is I like to give every creative that comes on the Black What's Next, the Black SVI T-shirt that I give to every creative that comes on the podcast. And this year, a new addition. New addition is the What's Next podcast T-shirt that I give to every creative that comes on.
Awesome.
So I appreciate you.
I'll be wearing this today.
I appreciate you coming on the podcast. I appreciate you letting me invade your space. Houston, Texas. Listen, this is episode number 92.
Number 92.
80 episodes later. Stream Text New Orleans in this episode, Tuesday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do what I do for myself to prove that I could do it for others. Chef Nureka, say bye.
Bye, Houston.
Yo, I feel like 95. Sachi on my body.
Peace and blessings.
Biggie, jigger, puffy, all that ballin' is a hobby. And I'm wildin' in my body. No Pilates. More weight, get you more wet. Nah, that's these Spumante. My crystal ball, I see crystal. I crystal y'all with that. I saw the sign like Ace of Spades. That Ace of Spades get cracked me like cheers to the money guy. The Willie niggas who buy them bottles and then they spill these liquors. Yo, salute my dude. I see you, dog. 5 bottles, 1 dick. Why I need 2 bras? I know I'm out of line. Love is shower time. You know it rose and rain when you come. Get off that high ass hussy. This a private party. Been on my dick too long. No breath on private party. You gon' be nice and naughty. These balls on prices.